Hello friends and welcome back to the Spring 2023 Promotion Tournament where I have a cat with me and we have our Rally Cry halftime
You have a
show.
cat on your mic. I just noticed.
I do, and there's also one in the background
same
that
as
you
well.
can't quite see.
Oh, cool.
Dude, there's cats everywhere, honestly, over here. There's a meme to be put out there, but yeah, welcome to our Rally Cry halftime show where we'll talk about a little bit more than just cats. I actually wanted to test you two. All right, we're doing the full screen, so we'll bring them up.
What's the name? I need to
This
know.
one's Leon.
Nice.
The one that's just sitting in the background, you can barely see, is Kylo.
Okay.
This is a cat stream now, so.
So Leon Kennedy, like from.
I didn't.
oh my
I was
God.
thinking that too.
No,
Resident Evil
that's-
4.
If you've
Resident Evil,
peeped
thank
my
you.
background a little bit too much, you might have a little.
Okay.
You might have a bit more of a hint on where this one's named after. This is just our halftime show now, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Welcome to your Rally Cry halftime
like
show
this
where
more.
I'm gonna sit
The
here with my
cat
cats.
Kitty. Yeah.
All right. For real, now that I have fully distracted you here with this ball of fluff, we're gonna do some trivia so I can test you guys. Throw a little bit of a softball there. If you guys have a better name for this segment, please let me know. I sent this over to Prod, and Prod said, I'm
Is
gonna
it about
guarantee
players?
live.
Is it about players?
This one's gonna be about players for a trivia.
Okay, call it Know Your Pro.
Yeah. Huh.
Damn. Isn't that ripping that off from somewhere?
No.
No, I don't think so. If we can't remember it, it's an original idea. Clearly.
That's true.
So yeah.
Alright,
You could even call it peripheral prefrontal cortex proses.
That might be the worst name of anything I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
we're gonna keep going before Ravish gets
I just
himself
wanted
booted
to
off of this broadcast. All right.
Yeah.
I am gonna keep a score between you two because I think that could be fun. So let's roll on with our first question here. All right.
Okay.
First off, we'll keep it a little bit more game related. Who got a pentakill last year? It was Costa.
There's people in this in this one, right?
Only in these two
Oh my
teams.
God. In these two teams? Oh my man, I remember.
Sketch.
It might have been Sketch. No. Because I remember Kangas had that call because where he was popping in and out of the base. Oh my God. Who, bro? Who? The other ADC is Azog. Wait.
No, wrong team.
Okay, wrong team.
Liam's
Players,
judging
teams,
right now.
Happening. League of Legends. ADCs. Not level team.
Aaron?
It's KJ.
Beatdown got it.
Damn it.
Aaron with St.
It took
Louis
too long.
University.
I even waited for you.
I'm sorry. It's
No.
okay. You know what? You deserve that. I would have
I
just
do.
ran through every other ADC.
Yeah, and except for the ones in the game here.
All right, next up, we have the cats seeing something a little bit more interesting out the window. Next up, who played in the NACL New Year's kickoff tournament as a sub for Complexity Gaming back in 2014?
Okay, who here's been playing that long?
Who's
Sub
that?
for Complexity. I'm gonna
Niles.
say NXI just because he's been around forever. Damn it.
Is it Niles?
Oh,
Is it Odd Orange?
Yes.
oh there you go.
Let's go. We got there. Let's go.
You got on the board. There you go.
Got on the board.
Yeah.
The most important one. All right. Going on into our next question. We're kind of roasting through these. I thought we'd have a little bit more discussion about each one. Y'all normally
can.
very talkative, all right? So who went by two former in-game names before settling on their current one, even though one looks pretty familiar?
Two in-game names now in this series.
Was it Sketch?
Yeah.
Yes, because he was
Oh.
Sketch Streams before.
He was Sketch Streams before.
Yeah, I felt like that was going to be the biggest giveaway to it because that one's, very obvious. Still Twitter
Yup.
handle. That's still
Yup.
a pretty recent adjustment. Going way back, though, I was surprised by this one when I went looking on Leaguepedia was Jupiter.
Yeah, I didn't know him then. That's pretty interesting. And it's funny, too, because he's a player who's been like, here's your discussion, Sierra, where
Thank
Sketch
you.
was mostly 80 carry for these last couple of years. But, I mean, now he's a role swap. This is his first split doing so. And when we hinted at issues with CLG Fate's roster, he had to play 80 carry again for a couple of months, which was interesting. But now he's playing support again. He thinks he can really do well in this role. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and who knew that he was a father as well, too, which is great. I'm really happy for him.
Yo.
Man.
I feel like you're just confusing people who kind of missed a little earlier on there.
Yeah, it's fine. But remember, because he said how he did end up raising Zyko as well, right? So
it was also referencing a Breeze tweet that got on the stream.
I just needed you guys to do a little bit of clarifying, just so someone's not sitting there like,
whoa, Sketch is a father? That's crazy.
wow, yeah, he's just putting it out there, no context at all. Yeah,
you gotta add a little context, guys.
You're right,
All
you're
right.
right,
Next up on our questions, who got his start in esports by winning a reality show called The Next Gamer?
God, who would be on something called The Next Gamer? That's crazy.
Also, that is such a cool start to somebody's esports journey, is winning a reality show. Like, I didn't even know that existed.
Who was it? Niles?
No.
Damn.
Was it Aaron?
No.
Get back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's go. I have absolutely no basis for that guess.
Let's
I was just
go.
naming
People
players.
are just like, hey, I got a 1 in 10 chance if I just start rattling off
spatting
names.
them out.
I'll get
Not quite 50-50, but you know.
Well, you either get it right or you don't.
Oh, true. You're right.
Wow, everything in life is a 50-50. That's crazy. It's either breathe or I don't. Whoa.
You either wake up or no. We're gonna
just diving.
All right, next up, a little bit of a happier note here. Who tweeted out about being happy about his performance in finals and that Jerry is in good hands with me?
Ooh.
Zyko?
Is it Zyko? Wait, hold on. He said it first.
He did. We'll give you guys both a half point on that one.
All right, I'll take that. I'm still in the lead.
Ooh, so that was like, like me buzzing in, right?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that. You just say
What?
that. Say it.
Okay, fine, whatever. I thought it was a quick. Whatever.
No.
Yeah, I love to see that though. I feel like a performance. This was going back to qualifiers and now going on forward in the tournament. So definitely some great stuff. And I'm sure, feeling good with what's been going on the Rift today as well. So that definitely is not bad. The last question here, this one I thought was pretty funny. I feel like this one's pretty relatable with how the start of the segment went off. But whose
that a hint?
cat has learned? Oh, I got one more question. I don't know how to read orders of stuff, so we're gonna do this one first. We're gonna come back. Who recently tweeted out, "You guys got to be some insomniacs the way you sleeping on me"?
That's a hard line, though. I actually.
That is kind of hard.
It is.
Was it messages?
It was, yeah. You got it first. Got it first. Good job. Hey, do we think that people after the performance? Do we think people sleeping on him? How are we feeling?
I think so. I think when he was on third party, I wasn't as excited about him, but also that team, there's a lot of struggles there. They didn't do so great back when it was the Proving Ground system. But again, people over at Native spoke very highly of messages. Even some of the gameplay I saw where I was like, damn, okay. And he's been having some pretty solid performances. Even though, he at times has issues with nerves, still a young player who's really exciting to keep an eye on.
Sierra's cat.
No. This was first off, I should learn to read my documents a little bit more clear. This is our final question
Happens.
here. Whose cat has learned how to open doors? Gotta go dive in on Twitter for this one.
Who has
Sketch?
It is.
Wow.
Did you know
that's crazy.
Did you know it was that shot in the dark?
Yeah.
Yo, hey, Sketch posts pictures of his cat. His cat's pretty cute, and apparently,
Respect.
a little bit of a disturber out there, being able to learn how to open doors. My cat knows how to open my closet door, so I guess, Ravish, you weren't completely incorrect with that one. Cats are little nuisances.
Menaces.
Yeah, but now with their game, we'll have to see if Maryville University continue being the menaces out there going into.
Who won?
Oh, I don't know. I lost track.
What?
Damn it.
What was the
It's okay.
then?
I'll let you guys. I got a draft.
We'll fight it out.
I got a draft to send you guys off to. All right, I will send you guys off to there. I will look back and I'll tell you guys after the game who's the winner is. Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Sure.
See ya.
Yes.
I can live with that.
I can't. I'm sad. I wanted to win.
Because you're going to lose, and it's just the inevitable wait now. You're just going to spend the whole game being like, man, I can't believe Sierra is just going to tell everyone after they forget about it that I lost the beatdown. That's crazy.
I'm glad you're already getting out the copium in your head when you find out that you lost. Good job, beatdown.
We'll
I like
see.
that. But aside from that, let's look at what MU and the Last Dance have cooked up for us. Last Dance, need this game as this is their last dance naturally. So we want to see them go out with in this series at least, right? As we know, CLGF is no more. So I do respect all the players for still coming together and showing their team spirit. They did mention how their vibes are at an all-time high, but I see that continues going into this next game.
Right, it's going to be super important. Remember, just remembering the format of this tournament and how it works. You win 2 and you are promoted. You lose 2 and you're relegated. So again, like we talked about with the last series with AoE and Supernova, Last Dance, want to get this win on the board. If they beat Maryville, they get that nice cushion and they're only 1 series away from going back to NACL.
Simply it. Remember, 2-1 can be what we can stand for, as both these teams want to look forward to summer.
Ooh.
Both of them want to look to play again, and picks like that might just do it. So, taking up the Jinx once. Okay, taking up the Jinx this time. So Hopper carry potential for the Last Dance.
Yeah, that one is an interesting one. We're starting to see her pop up a little bit more. So now Aaron liking his chances on that hyperscaling team fighting champion. And now we're seeing what the differences are going to be from Maryville's side. Of course, that first pick Jace is there. There's still the flex potential, but with what we saw Niles do, they could keep it. And we're seeing Odd Orange also pilot this Maokai, which is not the Lee Sin, it's not the J4, but a really strong pick in its own right.
Yeah, naturally. So, and I think he'll play to a similar wavelength that we saw the J4 on, right? Just a lot of early game into setting up for the rest of his team. And as Maokai has been known to do throughout his infamy in League of Legends. But they'll also go ahead and trade away the ADCs as well. Zaya given over to the side of Maryville. And the Thresh, so a classic bot lane from the Last Dance. A lot of safety and setup.
Yeah, the Jinx Thresh is going to be super important for Sketch to make space for Aaron to output as much DPS as possible. That Lantern really helps with that comfort that it gives you. Now you have that opportunity to start banding away ranged supports. We already see Heimer. Wouldn't be surprised if Renata is taken out of the picture as well, as that's another one that you're really looking for on the side of Maryville, most likely.
As Maryville right now, take it with the Lee Sin option for the Last Dance. Don't want to give NXI any more early game making abilities. And I think the Last Dance will also be looking to do exactly that. The side of Maryville as well, as Niles already has his comfort pick, as we mentioned before. This can still flex to get back if need be, but I'll take away the Gwen option, which signals to me that they might be looking for maybe a tank topside for the Last Dance.
I think you're right. Bajani could be leaning towards something like the Scion, maybe Cassante, but Maryville are going to take that one out of the picture immediately. And if that's the case, I imagine we're going to see that pick on 4, and we'll see NXI essentially running that Gragas, since he did play it in NACL Spring.
It's true. Right. And Gwen in general, I find hasn't been seen a ton throughout just OQs in general, but this is interesting. Wow.
And we'll see. They have to lock it in. Okay, they lock it in. So that's a pretty interesting one. You do scale, you do a lot with gold, but you have that early game impact as well, which you have a Jinx that you want to play for. It makes a lot of sense there for NXI, especially with the options removed. And now they want to hold on to that flex a little bit longer there for the Gragas, but I got to imagine that's going into NXI's hands. They need, or rather, what am I talking about? It's definitely going topside, but it could go. Basically what I'm getting at here is that we need more frontline for Jinx. So whether or not we see messages pilot the Gragas and Bajani does go for something like Scion is what I'm most interested in.
I saw the hover of the cannon and got really excited, but I guess didn't want to give that over just yet.
I mean, it's good.
Oh,
it makes a lot of sense.
This is hype.
And yeah, I mean, we hinted that, of course, even though Niles plays his pick, Get Back could easily pilot the Jason in his own right. So it's a good blind because it's good into Gragas. It's good into any tank melee in the top side. So you have yourself guaranteed prio top side, and you have a champion that's going to be amazing at team fights. Last Dance have to take exhaust on that bottom side. And I kind of like the Silas as an answer.
Oh, this is cool. Good. So already the Last Dance are deciding that they want to go out swinging potentially, or pull this game to the absolute limits by bringing out all the fighting potential. I do want to do a small note on the NXI Viego, right, because he loves his snowballing champions, and this is only more of that. But let's take a nice little macro look out at both these compositions.
Yeah, right. I mean, you have pushed in a lot of lanes here as Maryville, especially mid and top side, and that's really been the focus for the most part, at least from what we've seen today and even in the past. Scary Jerry kind of on his lonesome, on a very safe pick in the Xayah, but you have strong lanes to play for elsewhere, which is what I'm expecting them to do. The Last Dance, not as much prio early, need to really keep the game nice and slow so that they can get to those crucial item spikes. Hey, Messages can do a lot of work on the Silas. You steal the Cannon ult and you can do some crazy things. And you just scale really well into the late game overall. And of course, you want Aaron to get to that late game, as we see from the Jinx here, that 2-3 item mark, where he's on par with everyone else and he's outputting insane damage.
Previously, the Last Dance was not allowed to get to that point, but Aaron did definitely show his prowess towards the bot side. And now with Sketch there against his old friend Zyko, both of them lane swapping down, both of them wanting to put the other towards the lower end of the bracket. Remember, Zyko himself has some strong words for his lane opponent, and
yeah,
we'll see if that does come out for his own narrative.
And we see the quote, or the tweet rather, from Axeman. We love Scary Jerry. Woo! He's definitely someone people have been excited about since he showed up in CLOL last year. Some pretty crazy performances coming through here, and he's been all right so far for Scary Jerry. I mean, I believe it was you who were talking about Teach saying Scary Jerry was the best AD in the OQs and in the qualifiers overall, and he's definitely been showing that in this series.
Yeah, insane growth, and has improved a ton on his lane mechanics, in fact. And he's been working a lot with Zyko to improve on his 2v2 in terms of lane matches that he's taken out. Like already we've seen, both the Xayah and the Zeri, and he's not been afraid to play many more combinations as the meta has evolved. But early trading, as is naturally there for both sides, Zyko, decides to take a couple hits as Sketch comes out on the healthier end of that.
Yeah, especially with Aaron actually going for that longsword 3-pot start, even though isn't going to be as strong necessarily, has range to play with the Q, and has those extra pots to go for aggressive trades like this. So I think the gambit that Scary Jerry and Zyko were going for doesn't actually work out, because you can see Aaron and Sketch, they have that push bot side. And that's something Last Dance need overall, because again, mid and top, you're going to get pushed in pretty hard, and that's going to give a lot of openings here for Odd Orange to invade, set up plays that NXI has to watch for.
Yeah, we've already spoken a ton about how both these junglers, love to make tons of early plays, and how well Maryville does off of an early lead. In fact, we saw that all of last game, and as of right now, nothing going on either from either side. I imagine should just be a full clear for both ends. So, especially with the Maryville side, getting pushed on opposite ends, but maintaining things to be pretty even. I'm the biggest liar on the planet. Odd Orange is here. I thought you would have just gone up.
How dare you? I trusted you.
No, you didn't. Oh!
Oh!
They get the pullback.
Wow.
Nice CC chain. First blood to Zyko.
And it looked like Sketch had it with the Flay too, but it only really works if you, the Thresh, get hooked. Really nice dredge line onto Aaron, getting you first blood. And you just turn around that matchup just like that. Maryville overall, you can already see leads starting to grow, top side especially. And now Odd Orange is going for the invades, like we talked about here, trying to pressure NXI, as now, I want to say it's a fight for Scuttle, but surely Odd Orange is just going to get it.
I believe so, especially if Get Back manages to move before Messages does, but we see how he's kind of roaming towards it, but talk about that once we get a look at this fight once again.
Yeah, Sketch, you got to eat those, bro. You can't be letting your AD get hit by like that, especially when you know from the way he's walking that he is moving for the hook. So it's a nice play from Zyko. Honestly, just Odd Orange really showing up.
Yep. I said it before earlier today. Only thing Odd Orange allows him more ganking at level 3 is ganking at level 2, which is exactly what he did. So should be nice, as well as both as his bot lane for Aaron and Sketch was one of the highlights, right? Well, for the Last Dance of the previous game. It's where they managed to get an early lead. It's where Aaron in fact had an item above Scary Jerry before the first stream fights around the first couple of dragons, and it's how they managed to come out on top. So right now, this is a much better look for Maryville as within the second game.
Yeah, we're already seeing the leads again across the board here. Now Messages is starting to be able to have a little more agency in this lane. Level 6, some of those first components are going to be where things can really start to turn around. Again, we talk about how Maryville have a really good team fighting comp. The all-in potential is crazy, especially when they last picked that cannon for Niles. So Messages needs to be that difference maker. Being able to steal that Slicing Maelstrom, do just as much work. Because a big thing with Kennen is that, of course, you're building full damage, and your ult does so much work in team fights. Teams usually bring exhaust, but look on Last Dance side, nobody has picked that summoner spell. So it's going to be super important that Sketch peels well for this Jinx, and that Messages can do the same.
Messages, though, had a solid game previously, but speaking of Sketch, just completely poked off the lane. NXI is around to help them out. Scary Jerry might be a bit too far up, but does Zyko see this?
I don't like it. Zyko doesn't know, but NXI should know that this is kind of crazy.
But Lancer is there, and he manages to click it in time.
Well, no one dropped any war. I don't know. That was weird, but he doesn't die, so it's good.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Niles with no ignite though, so can't exactly poke Bajani down just yet. Which not the ultimate. If anything, if he gets too close, Bajani might be able to actually barrel him and push him on a tower and combo on top of him. But flash available still on both sides, and should be fine as Niles just pushes this wave in under the tower.
That's what it's about. Oh, wait a second.
Exactly
okay.
as I was saying.
Oh, wait, that flash.
Flash for flash, really clean. One Murano.
He got great blocked. He got Riot Games.
No shot, man.
That was honestly, I gotta give credit though, that was pretty well played from Bajani. That was just an unlucky end to that one there. But what I was trying to say was Niles is getting a lot of consistent push topside, and that's the important thing. And also Bajani has to back here, which is actually like a really bad timing. You don't know where this Maokai is. He can't risk getting ganked, but now there's this wave that isn't fully under the tower, and he doesn't have teleport, so Bajani's gonna lose more than he already has because of that choice.
Yeah, it's but you know what? The play looked cool though. I think that's kind of all that
The play
matters.
did look cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
But yeah, it won't result in much by the end of it, as exactly as you're mentioning. Nonetheless, last dance for now. Small leads need to be gained to that way they don't find so that way they don't just start falling behind in gold slowly. So what happened last time? Messages fighting things out.
Ooh, that was close.
Not enough for the Kingslayer, and Get Back gets a solo kill mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, you have more damage stats as Get Back, and this is a little tough here. Your bot lane can come to this play, and Odd Orange. Oh, he's level 6.
Yeah, but the blast cone there to keep them safe, as they'll at least stop for a couple of seconds. That should just be it.
Yeah, between that and the scuttle giving them the extra zoomies to get out of dodge, they walk away from this one, but they don't really gain anything. They lose the red buff, and they had to run away from that fight. Overall, this has still been a really good early game from Maryville. You can see they have that Herald that they could play for on the top side. They have advantages everywhere. Niles is still that constant force. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Herald will force him to take a tower shot, so not ideal for the trade. Just to trade his ultimate for the stun. Odd Orange around.
No ultimate.
Looking for a W, possibly. On top of him. Can't find it. I'll have to walk away.
Yeah, in there isn't really much there. You just want to make sure that NXI doesn't show up, and then you give that opportunity for Niles to push and go for this Rift Herald here. And again, this early lead that we talk about is coming through. Maryville have this Rift Herald that's going to allow them to snowball even further. And as long as Get Back doesn't get engaged on, everything is going up Maryville at this point. Unless NXI can go for some crazy miracle steal, which I wouldn't necessarily bet on.
I do want to praise Maryville for this once again. You've seen this in almost every single one of the games they play.
Yeah.
Although they don't take a ton of early fights and try to focus a lot on just getting tons of kills to just push their lead. The goal lead always goes in their favor early on, right? They're already at almost 3K by just taking one early fight. Odd Orange showing some presence, and the dominance they have in their lanes. That is simply just it. It continues to be how much better they're playing than the other team.
And it's a reminder, like, why it's so important for Last Dance to get something going here. Like, and Maryville are up 1-0. Again, in this tournament, it's lose 2 or win 2. Yeah. If you lose, you are relegated. But if you win, you make it to NACL in summer. And it's really important for Last Dance, if they want to keep that cushion, if they want to go up 1 instead of down, that they manage to come back. In the last game, we saw more from them in the earlier game. Yeah. This time around, on a comp that is more about scaling, that is more about farming as much as possible, they still find themselves down maybe too much gold, because once they reach those crucial item spikes, unless they make an amazing play, it's going to be hard for them to actually win things out.
Things that it's offer as Message looks for small trade in the mid lane against Get Back, who's come out the better with this matchup, in fact. And I do want to give some praise over to him. In fact, Get Back was the MVP for the entire OQ split, and for Maryville especially. T spoke out how he has been the most consistent player on their team, and everybody on the OQ squad noticed that as well. How Get Back, even though he may not have the greatest advantages in lane, he has always maintained to be either even or a little bit up ahead, and fits in wonderfully in all these team fights. But as right now, he's not here in the bot lane. As they get the hook down, they want more stun on orange around. They put up the Blade Storm, but look at Messages. Looking for a flank in, hasn't taken anybody's ultimate. And that's the fight done.
Yeah, the hijack is on cooldown, and I like that Last Dance are looking for these plays using some of these timers, but they actually risked a good bit. Messages, not the best timer to roam, actually is just dropping that entire wave mid to make the play and also help secure this Drake, because Last Dance, they need something, stats, potential Drake stacking to come through here, but the gold just isn't in their pockets to win out on these fights. But they're going to try it anyway, Ravish. You can see it. They're just going to start it out. They have Vijani walking his way down, and they want to secure this.
Gotta do some. As long as we walk in, nice hook onto Sketch. Dragon is taken by NXI, but one Marauder was there for Get Back as he pummels them. They try to get one more, maybe, though. CC onto Message, not yet landed, has Blade Storm, and uses that to get away.
Little fancy moves there from Messages, but ultimately Sketch will fall in exchange for the Drake. It is a nice bit of stats that they get, that missing health healing at all times there with the one Ocean Drake, but you still give up a lot of gold in the process here. Messages, again, sacrifice so much, and you can see on top of what Get Back was able to earn, Messages is really far behind, and it is
I'm not gonna get the second proc of the E, so allowing Scary Jerry to walk away does get the heal though, so that's at least a compensation prize.
Yeah, but this is brutal. Like, Messages is really far behind at this point. This is the Silas building Rod of Ages, by the way. So he's going to have a really late one here. We're approaching 13 minutes, and he has still only gotten the 3 components. Not quite enough for the item itself. And you're really banking on Aaron at this point, who's been able to somewhat keep up with Scary Jerry, but only somewhat.
Speaking of Scary Jerry, the hook and a miss, and the flash shot from Jerry to make sure he stays safe. And XI is there, but Zyko already blocking all of it. And he himself will just hook out. They cannot kill him alone with just
Zyko!
The moves! Being down, they want more of the action. Niles is here. Ultimate's in. They want to go on to Jerry. Nice Blade Storm, but stay safe. And that goes in the favor of MU.
They tried to take advantage of the fact that Scary Jerry's ult was on cooldown, that he had no flash, but they still managed to hold on just in time to get the ult back. Last Dance, they're trying. You can see the effort they're putting in to try and catch up, but it is just not enough. And it's a great TP coming through here from Niles. You can see it. In fact, you see him just clearing out that wave on the minimap here. And even though it was a good attempt, I don't even think that Super Mega Death Rocket would have actually killed NXI though. They're trying. You could see it in the bottom row. The ultimate wasn't even there for Scary Jerry, but they stalled long enough. They dodged, dipped, ducked, and dived just in time for Scary Jerry and Niles to help turn it around.
Yeah, Niles comes and walks in, and the last
just came up.
Wanted to cook, but unfortunately, whatever it was in the kitchen, it turns out being burnt. So, unfortunate happenings, and now MU continue to maintain all the leads they got going on. Lancer in, Trying to pull a pick onto Odd Orange to be able to get it. That's one on messages. Zyko there, he's decently tanky and should just walk out.
Yeah, but that's something. You get a kill, and it's something we haven't really talked about is that, yes, Last Dance are also playing for scaling, but it's also worth noting too, you have a Viego and Jinx. You're playing really hard for resets. One kill, even in this deficit, if you manage to get to those crucial item spikes around 2 items, there is that chance of coming back here for Last Dance. They get a pick like that. Jinx gets excited. You possess someone as the Viego. That is the potential turnaround that you're hoping for here.
It's gotta be something, man. We were saying how NXI wanted to snowball on the Viego, right? He wants to be able to find more. He loves the snowballing picks, just the Graves, the Jarvis and such, but right now hasn't been able to do a ton. Picks like that might help out. But instead, now Maryville, they'll get the prize and retribution, being their Herald. Hopefully looking to drop that in any lane, or looking to drop that top side, I should say, as that will be the last outer standing for the Last Dance.
Maryville doing so much in this early game. 5-1 kills, but it's the structures, it's the CS that they've been able to get. These natural advantages that we keep talking about from these laners. And of course, the impact of a jungler like Odd Orange has culminated to 6,000 gold at 15 minutes here. This is an incredible lead, and a lead some would call insurmountable. We'll see if that is actually the case. Niles, wow.
This is nice though. Again, from Bajani, who's been doing a good job of trading against Niles. The matchup finally gets the better of it as he smacks his drink on the small Yordle.
Yeah, I actually like the Everfrost build. It's a late item coming through as well, so he decides not to go for the Roa as it would take a long time to fully stack. So that CC, that extra bit of damage, is going to be really nice coming through here. But it's a small thing compared to what Maryville have gotten for the last little bit here. Luckily, Last Dance getting that second Drake means they stalled the soul. They don't have to fight for this next one. They can just kind of let it go and see if they can focus on making a play elsewhere. Like, hey, maybe topside.
Oh, yeah. Zyko is here in the exact same position he was last time, setting up vision and keeping Jerry safe if anything. So should be a trade awards, but can't find much more than that.
Well, you're gonna need more than a trade of wards as Last Dance. You can see the vision game. It's crazy. Oh wait,
Close.
Fresh baby.
Easy. You think you caught? No, you not. And there's easy get out for themselves, but as the Herald I was talking about, not topside like I was expecting, but it makes a lot more sense as you're opening up just more parts of the map. It will be a trade though, at least for the Last Dance, as they'll get one for themselves on messages and solitary gold for him.
Yeah, a bit of an uneven trade, especially if, okay, so they do manage to take that one out. An objective bounty comes through for last, but it's really all you can hope for. Maryville, of course, are going to secure themselves that next Drake. And again, no soul points, so you're not as worried as Last Dance, but you're still in a really tough position. In these situations, you're hoping you can trade for more on the side lane, but nobody from Maryville was really on the opposite side of the map. Only just now are we seeing Get Back walk towards topside. And it just limits the opportunities Last Dance have to come back. And you can see it. The gold leads all across the board. Yeah. The saving grace is that you're only down 1,000 gold in the bottom lane, and that's the most important part here for Last Dance. But if your saving grace is you're only 1k down behind, that's how you know you're in tough scenes.
Yeah, and you speak about the side lanes as well too. I'm thinking about who matches who, right? But Johnny has done a decent job of matching Niles, but he's not necessarily worried about the matchup as they're kind of going back and forth in between them. It just depends on who gets the better of the position. And for messages and Get Back wins that every time he gets messages as of right now with the lead that he has. So
yeah,
it just becomes tougher and tougher. So I think Last Dance are now instead looking to focus on grouping up a lot more, taking the fights either 4v4 or 4v3, whatever advantages they can find. And now instead, positioning around the bot lane, they don't see anything, but at least keeping Bajani safe as they get their second turret of the game.
Remember, 2 items is that big breaking point that you're hoping for as Last Dance or a fan of Last Dance. And even for messages, he's not going to get that Roa fully stacked till about 25 minutes. So it's just this big waiting game. Waiting and also not giving your life away in side lane. No. But unfortunately...
Man, Bajani was just vibing. He was just drinking some soda. But seems as though
Soda.
Maryville were like, yo, no, we on the health kick, baby, no sugar for us.
Yeah, and it happened so fast. There was no time for last throw-off reset to trade a Baron or anything like that, especially because Baron's not even on the board. You get to clear some vision, you get to get a wave in, but that's not enough. Maryville have such a big lead at Last Dance. They need more. We're at a point where desperation plays are what we're expecting if they don't want to go 0-2 in this game, this series.
And on the side of Maryville, though, there was not a doubt in their mind when speaking to the players and the coach that they've been making it through here. Their dominant performance has lasted for, years at this point. We already spoke about previously about their collegiate accolades, right?
Yeah.
2 championship, 3 finals appearances in CLL. And even right now, almost having a perfect record through all of OQs, they're fully expecting to make it into summer for NACL, and it all starts right here with this game. You go 1-0 up, and even with the next opponents as well, they've looked as confident as ever. All it's going to be about is just finding the final cap on the bottle to seal things tight.
Right, and one thing we haven't actually brought up yet is that the winner of basically both the series we play today are actually going to face each other. So Maryville, Last Dance, they're playing for that opportunity to face AoE, who we just saw earlier in the day. And if Last Dance, or whoever loses rather, they're going to be playing against Supernova in the lower bracket, which is where things do get a little tough. Again, you don't have that second life that you have here in the upper bracket. And it's something that Last Dance are fighting to try and keep. They talked about how the vibes were good on that team, hearing from messages and the rest, but I don't know if vibes are enough.
Nah, it's I've tried, bro. Every time I'm down 0-4
You tried?
and vibes are, I'm like, I'll be fine. No, I won't be. That's a lot. Scary Jerry is also fine right now. Johnny's got to look to get out of there. The knockup is lands on the ADC, but Aaron just so far they can't get to him. A lot of damage put down though, but Zyko locked in the middle. A beautiful lockdown on the rest
That's
of
a reset. That's a reset.
Reset on the rest. Oh, but they get locked in. It's a nice little dodge, but that should just be it. Niles can't blow anybody up, and it's a 1 for none. I mean, 2 for none.
Yeah, that's a big deal here. I mean, Aaron gets a couple of kills, gets excited, and XI manages to reset too. They've lost so much health, but Bajani surely looking to teleport. You have to go for this Baron right now as Last Dance, because this is one of your few opportunities to get back.
They've got to do something. This was huge. They're taking out both the EDC and the top laner. This is it. Maybe they can win off of Vibes alone here, beatdown. Maybe Vibes will carry it. He dies to the Baron. It's a 3v4. Get back does more than a damage, but that was auto runs around. They can't continue the fights. He goes in early onto Aaron. The power slam. The ADC and the rest of the team comes to clean up. The vibes are high, but their lives are low.
Maryville, huge clutch to stall things out. First blowing up NXI, then waiting long enough for the teleports to come through. That was the play Last Dance needed, but they couldn't make it happen. Now Maryville are the ones who secure a Baron for themselves. Now they're going to be the ones to take down more and more structures, collect more and more gold, and start to tie a ribbon on this series.
They've taken the Baron at 20 minutes every time almost this
Look
series.
at that.
Now this time a little bit more, but yeah, we got to give another big shout out to Get Back again, man. Just that huge little Q to go over onto NXI and turn the fight around, which is why we said once again, he has been the MVP of OQ, the most consistent player on this Maryville squad.
Yeah, actually canceling the abscond abduct from messages. I didn't realize what that was the first time, but just a great fight overall from Get Back. And it just means that Baron is secured, Dragon is secured, and it wasn't soul point before, but it's soul point now as Last Dance running out of options here in this game, in this series, and are on the cusp of getting sent to the lower bracket.
Now, last time they had Baron, they took 4 turrets in a row. They already have 4. I don't know about you, but, the 8 means that their entire, tower defense game is going to be Dunzo Bunzo. Definitely don't want that, but they can't do anything against it. They're all kind of moving far back. At least they have messages in the side lane trying to get top, which what they did last time. But opening up the base means that Maryville cannot just put even more pressure on this entire Last Dance squad.
Right, and you can see messages is recalling gonna spend some of his gold, has the Zanyas, and almost has that Roa fully stacked. Will finally really start to come online as we also see Aaron with 2 items. 9k down. It's almost too late here unless Messages gets a big Maokai ulti. They're able to take Get Back or Jerry out.
Those Brambles at least catch them in the base a little bit. Messages takes that ultimate back. Niles is coming around, but he's a little bit far. And I think the Last Dance knows that as they don't see him, they've got to back up. They have another wave coming in, so this should be the base opened up.
Yeah, Messages is approaching level 16. Could look to steal the Cannon ultimate as Hijack's on a pretty low cooldown, but it is still on cooldown. As now Maryville, after they weathered what Last Dance tried, they get the bottom inhibitor. And you can see it, they're up 9k. They get the empowered recalls. They're going to get back on the map incredibly fast. And we're probably not going to see... We're not going to see anything else come through with this Baron buff, but it's done enough damage. As now, Last Dance's base has been broken into.
You were talking about Messages as well, how he could potentially take some ultimates as well, but look at his build beatdown, right? He has Rowan Zanya's. Bro is high-fiving them and saying, yo, it's good. But that's kind of the damage profile is not going to be great from him either, which is tough because they have a lot of good ultimates to take from.
Yeah, you can see it. Aaron going for the Phantom Dancer. Usually prefer the Infinity Edge just for that huge spike of damage, but you want that ability to kite it out. That passive giving you the move speed as you auto attack is something he's clearly prioritizing in this game.
Yeah.
And we're at this point too where Scary Jerry's almost a full item ahead of him too. Is very far in this game overall, and you have so many threats to deal with as Aaron too. You can see it. They have vision on their topside jungle, but they still have to tread very lightly.
It's like you gotta be on water or ice that's about to be broken. Pinky toe pipe, pinky toe as the cracks continue to form on the ice. And the deeper that goes, we're seeing it's extending all the way towards their base. One more wave does come in. As the cracks form, Last Dance just don't want to fall in and drown, but here comes the trees. They get stuck, but they won't fall just yet. They're looking for a fight to walk in. Bladestorm is out, but Messages flashes.
I think he probably saw the angle, but the team called it off. But now you're seeing Niles is just on the split, able to threaten this inhibitor. You got so much used on Last Dance, and again, nothing to show for it. They have to clear these waves. They have to let this middle inhibitor fall, and that's just more in the pockets of Maryville. You can see it. They're moving up to this top side, going to threaten the tier 3 in the top, and now that's the only inhibitor that's left here. But instead, they got a lot of gold to spend, and they are going to back it up. One thing I want to highlight too, when the fight looked pretty good, it was because Aaron was able to flash away from the slicing maelstrom. He has flash back up, so as long as they peel, as long as Last Dance live long enough to get one kill, it's possible. I will use the word possible.
I think there's that word in How I Met Your Mother, right? It is possible. That's what it was.
Sure,
it's possible, but also impossible. Just the meeting in the middle of it all. But at least for now, though, Last Dance, they've had solid performances. They've throughout the entire split. This team has grown. They've dealt with a lot, to be fair. But I think if they can come out on the other end smiling, that's exactly what matters. At least for themselves. Bajani's been having pretty solid in terms of lane matchup against Niles too. He's done a good job. But for right now, though, he'll be on to Messages.
Oh, look at the wards. Oh, okay.
Ooh, Enix, Sketch saves the day once again, but they pop over the wall. Get Back with a big knock-up, and that's 2 down almost. Well, that's 2 in total. In fact, down for the Last Dance. Trying to make it a 3rd as Enix is walking away. And surprise, Bajani. Bye-bye.
I think they weren't expecting that double flash over the wall. Once the lantern came through, Last Dance felt safe. But that's Maryville. They are coordinated. They are aggressive. And it's earned them the win here in this series. They just need to cross the T's and dot the I's.
They are aggressive and they are moving on. Dominance to continue to control aggression and team fight prowess. Maryville University has shown why they deserve to continue to move on, why they were the top seed coming out of OQs, and why they have been one of the most touted and heavily praised program in just Collegiate League of Legends.
Right, and why we had a lot of faith from them being able to promote into the NACL, because they showed some incredible prowess throughout qualifiers, and that continues to show here in the promotion tournament.
Incredible so far for themselves, but we'll have to take a small look on who and what we get to from the insights that are there from Maryville University. For now, we'll cut it to a short break. We come back, we'll hear more.
For the upcoming tournament, I want to relegate sketch streams as much as possible, because me and him used to play together back in 2021 after I came back from a break. And since we're like really good friends and we were like pretty close back then, it just makes me want to beat him even more. No really other thoughts than just beating him as quick as possible.
Oh yeah, I heard he was doing a little trash talk, saying he was trying to relegate me. And personally, I'm not going to let that happen.
Oh.
Because I brought him from the dumps of solo queue up to where he is now. So I can say I made Zyko, and I'm going to put him back where he belongs. I'll say it started with me, because back on AoE, he was a very shy and quiet guy. And that was okay, but I had to make him open up and start actually talking more and doing more things himself, like going in. And he didn't do that until he played with me. And now he actually does that like 10 times more. So I'm actually proud of him for that. All I'm going to say is somebody's going to get the record death holder, and it's not going to be me.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the Verizon post-game interview. Zyko, thank you so much for joining me and talking. First off, you get that 2-0 victory to be starting off this promotion tournament. Tell me, how are you feeling, and was that your expected outcome of the match?
I'm feeling pretty great, and the results were to be expected. Yeah.
All right. And I want to, first off, talk about this friendship rivalry between you and Sketch, because we just aired the little interview bits that you guys had spoken about before this matchup. First off, tell me a little bit about your history and your friendship with Sketch.
So I think it was like June of 2021, where I was coming back from a break, and I was just playing solo queue and hit the top of the ladder, and Sketchstreams just added me out of the blue and asked if I wanted to play for AoE. And I didn't know what like the amateur teams were at the time, so like I wasn't like too exactly sure. But then he would just like join us and save us, and I was like, okay. And that's how it started.
All right, because yeah, he spoke in his little interview bit about saving you from solo queue, how you're so shy and quiet, but now you're talking this smack and that he made you. Do you have any response to that?
He always wanted me to like be more outspoken with things, so like he's definitely helped me on that part. But made me, I would say like I made myself for the most part, and then he just helped guide me along the way.
All right, and he might regret a little bit of that teaching you to smack talk after the words that you're gonna relegate him. You take this victory now, but great stuff coming out from you and the team. I want to talk about you and the team a little bit. So for yourself, where do you see yourself going in this space? Like, what are your goals going on this year, future years?
My goal is to possibly go into NACL and try to do well there, and possibly end top 10 in solo queue and hopefully get picked up by the end of the year. That's the goals I have so far.
All right, and then with this run that Maryville University is making through the promotion tournament, do you think that you'll be able to get that shot at Challengers this year? Do you think this is going to be one of the teams that's going to be promoted?
Oh wait, which team?
When you're on.
Oh yeah.
Tournament. Let's go.
Yeah. I'll definitely. We'll definitely get promoted to Challengers League for sure.
Let's go. Then going forward, is there any team that you think could really throw a wrench in that plan? Maybe that could hold you back a little bit. And you're going to be going up against AoE Gold next, which was the highest seed coming into this.
Well, AoE, they almost lost game 1 to Supernova, so maybe we'll have a really good chance of going against them.
I mean, you definitely got to be taking any chance you be getting. And I know they were excited to be playing against these collegiate kings that is Maryville University. So I'm definitely excited for this matchup. I'll let you go celebrate with the team. I can see people scuttling around in the background there. But before I let you go, Zyko, any final words or any shout outs?
Just shout out to my team for being amazing and showing up today. And my friends and family, thank you for supporting me.
Thank you so much. Good stuff today. Have a good rest of your day, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, as for us to be wrapping up our day, we're going to be heading back over to the caster desk. Love that little friendly rivalry. Zyko going to be taking the upper hand on this first showdown, Ravish.
Yeah, it seems as though, as you were saying, right, even though he may not have been made by him, but he let him know who was on top today, which gotta give respect to that. And big shout out to, you know, I believe as we're calling him, Zygote as of right now.
The Zygote out there. Love that. Well, the Zygote and the rest of Maryville University going to be moving along in the bracket, going to be facing up against AoE Gold next. Forward. That one should be a really fun matchup, considering AoE Gold was the top seed coming into this beatdown, and Maryville University, obviously this team with a lot of prestige around them and doing such a great job in their qualifying games to be getting to this point.
Yeah, this is going to be the best matchup in the promotion tournament, in my opinion. The AoE, you already talked about it, the top seed from AoE coming in here, Maryville the top from qualifiers. I mean, this matchup is definitely going to be a banger. You already heard Zyko talk about it a little bit. He's feeling confident because they almost struggled against Supernova, who were our 8th seed in game 1, admittedly.
Indeed, my friend, is that. But aside from that, though, I find it should be pretty fun, considering how Maryville themselves, right, they're going up against a very scrappy team, and on their end, it kind of does come down to who has better macro, I find, in my opinion.
Well, there's still going to be a lot of league to be being played going on forward within our promotion tournament, but that unfortunately is it for us today. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Ravish, Beatdown with the All Canadian Desk has been awesome as well. Production, y'all are great. Make sure to be tuning back in tomorrow to see who else is going to be continuing on this upper bracket run. But until then, have a great night and best of luck in your solo queue games.